So just a few days ago, the world found out that the rapper DMX, Earl Simmons, had died. And like you, I also was a big fan of his music. I still remember first time I heard Party Up back in the year 2000. I was in the East Village in New York City with a buddy of mine, and he placed me directly in the center of his speaker system, and he just cranked that sucker, and it was absolutely amazing. And I kind of spent those couple years really getting in tune with the vibration of DMX, and it was important to me. I was the same age as DMX. We would have both been 50 this year, both are 50 this year, and we also at that time were both drug addicts and had a lot of rage and anger inside of us. And I could never express my rage and anger the way that DMX did, and I'm so grateful that he could, because as a young man, I really needed to know that I wasn't alone in that anger, and to know that it could be expressed, and I could say those lyrics, and I could feel those beats and that music really pushing me through that human pain that's universal to all of us. And I was surprised the past couple days of how much this death affected me. I mean, normally deaths, they just don't affect me that much. I kind of roll with them and roll forward, but I keep coming back to DMX, and I think it was because, you know, he couldn't find a way out from this addiction to drugs, and I was fortunate to find a way out. And about 20 years ago, I moved to the UK, and I finally walked away from my life as an addict, and that's what happened to me in New York City. And I've told this story before. I tell it in depth in a movie I made a few years ago called Iron Mind, where I became a heroin addict when I was in New York City. I used to snort that garbage, and that was my way of escaping from my anger, my disappointment with myself, my frustration with the world and myself. That was a way of me being disconnected and not being present in those two painful emotions that I just couldn't deal with. And I was fortunate to find a way out. I still don't know how or why I found a way out, but I did. I came to London, my home now. I took up martial arts, which I think had a lot to do with it, and I found a way to channel that anger and rage in a way that wasn't destroying myself. In some ways, it made myself better through this art of physical practice, and also tried to analyze why was I so angry? Why was my behavior not congruent with my happiness and my purpose in my life? And unfortunately, DMX didn't find that, and he struggled with drugs and addiction right up until this year when he died. And I don't know the exact circumstances of his death, but I think everyone knew he was still a drug user. And I know what that's like, and I could see and feel the pain in him. We could feel the pain inside DMX. That's what made him so great. That's what made him so wonderful, so creative, because he was able to channel that anger and disappointment and rage that we all feel. It's hard to be human. The human experience is designed to be a challenge. You know, it really is. It's designed to be one of the most difficult challenges on earth. And DMX couldn't find a way through that challenge, but at the same time, he was able to articulate that challenge in an incredible way if you listen to him. And I watched a couple interviews with him recently. He did one with Dr. Phil that I posted on my social media. You should watch it. And he said, I did a prayer to God in every album. And most people are like, wow, I thought your albums were about anger and hate. But he would have a prayer. He would have a word to God. And he would always have a prayer on stage at his live events. And he would say, God, thank you for loving me. I don't know. He would say, thank you for loving me. I don't know why you love me. Such a universal feeling, such a way I used to feel about my life. And again, DMX had an incredible way of articulating that. And to be so vulnerable and raw like that, as such a superstar on the stage, it's such a powerful thing to do. And You have to respect a man who can do that. You have to respect a man who can be all that. And I think that's why his death has caused so much reflection and sorrow around the world, because either through watching his actions or through listening to his music, we knew that there was something real here. There was something real, something true that man was channeling. And truth is a rare commodity these days. And something real is something we all can feel when it's real. And DMX did that. And, I'm not saying we should salute everything he did. A lot of things he did were something that not to be saluted. A lot of things most of us do are, but very few people can actually express that truth and that realness in a way that we can all relate to. And so, yeah, I thought I would just make this video and say that, it was important sometimes for me to realize what I'm kind of going through. And maybe you're going through this or with the death of someone else, or maybe a realization with someone else. And it's okay, to feel that way. It's always even better to know why you feel that way. And also to learn from this. And I see what happened to DMX, and part of me feels like, wow, I wish I could have helped him overcome those addictions and channel that in some positive way. And I feel like I could, but I don't know. Maybe that wasn't possible. Maybe some people are going to find that chance, and some people never will find that chance. And I'm sure it's not any easier when you're a celebrity and everybody wants to give you a way out, or is going to want to love you for something you did before and always cut you a break. When I went through my struggles of addiction in 2001 in New York City, everybody left me. All my friends and all my everybody just walked away from me because I had ruined my life. And it was a great signal to me to get my act together. That was such a benefit. And I don't know if someone like that in that celebrity place is ever really can hit that rock bottom, because there's always someone out there that wants an autograph or wants them to, do a deal or something. And so I don't know the details of what happened to DMX, but I just want to say, wherever you are, sir, we appreciate you. We appreciate you for your honesty. We appreciate you for channeling something that will live on forever. Truth and human realness is something that it's never going to go out of date. And so I appreciate that for you. And I just want to say to anyone else out there who's struggling with life, life is a challenge. And all I can say to you is that I learned it when I was present and tried to be present with those challenging emotions. And I still go through them. And to not try to mask them with substance abuse or anything to get your mind off that. Alcohol, drugs, shopping, sex, whatever it is, to get you out of the present moment. To just try to be with that pain and feel with that pain and ask yourself, why am I feeling this? And am I continuing the cycle of that pain? Am I losing my happiness, or trying to find happiness where I lost my happiness? These are questions. And it took me many, many years to change my behavior. And I'm supposed to be a smart guy. But this is something that affects all of us as humans. It doesn't matter how smart you are, how rich you are, how gifted you are, what country you're in. We all struggle from these issues. So I just want to send peace out to anybody who's having a hard time with this right now, who is in that similar mindset that Earl was in, where he just couldn't find a way out and couldn't find a way to get through some of that anger and rage and feeling of maybe inadequacy. That there is a way through. There always is a way through. And it's somewhere deep inside you, and it comes when you start changing patterns of behavior and actions, and maybe trying to do something ultimately that's of service. That's what allowed me to find my way out. And those are my thoughts. So again, if you want to know more about my whole story with addiction, I made a whole movie about it. I won't go into the details now, but it's something I'm also so very, very, very grateful for, that happened to me. It really is something that I'm so proud of, that I overcame. I have so many lessons from it today. I will never go back to those depths, because I've learned such a strong lesson, and I think it's brought me to where I am today. And everything that you think is a failure in your life, if it does not kill you, as Nietzsche once said, it will make you stronger if you can learn from that failure. And so I've had some very low lows, but they've all brought me to incredible highs, and I'm sure I'll have more. and I'm sure I'll learn more. And thus, this is the human experience. And if we can share it with each other, then it makes it a little bit easier being human on this planet. So as I said, rest in peace, DMX. Thank you. In many ways, those lyrics helped save me as a young man by knowing that I wasn't alone in those feelings, that I could channel those feelings in a lyric, in a vibe, in a song. It makes a big difference. And I appreciate all the people out there that create art that allows us to know we're not alone in this what can be very painful human experience, and also a very beautiful human experience. And so that's it. I hope this has helped you in some way, and I hope you can find peace in this life. I think that's why we're here, and I think we're here to help each other find that peace. And Mr. Earl Simmons, I'll see you on the other side, brother. Peace.